Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Hello.
Today we're taking a look at something that seems pretty simple on the surface, but actually it turns out it's packed with some fascinating details. We're doing a deep dive into just two specific sources. The Amazon product pages for the upcoming EA Sports Madden NFL 26 game.
Right.
Specifically looking at the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X versions.
That's right. You might just click on a product page to find the buy button, right?
Yeah, usually.
But these pages, they're really carefully constructed storefronts. So our mission today is just to unpack only the information that's presented right there on those specific pages.
Okay.
And see what it tells us about the game itself, maybe who they think the buyer is, and, the whole purchase experience Amazon's laying out for you.
Right, and we're specifically not bringing in outside stuff like reviews or gameplay videos or anything.
Nope. Just dissecting what's right there on that digital shelf.
Absolutely. It's kind of like examining a physical box in a store,
Yeah.
What's on the front, what's on the back,
Yeah.
price stickers, what else is nearby on the shelf, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So let's unpack this. Diving into these pages, then the PS5 one, the Xbox one, what's the very first thing they confirm about the actual product?
Well, the title's pretty clear. EA Sports Madden NFL 26, no surprises there.
Okay.
And both pages list Electronic Arts, EA, as the publisher. They confirm the platform, obviously PlayStation 5 or as Xbox Series X. And they also note that the rating is currently rating pending, which, that's pretty standard for a game that's still a ways out from release.
Makes sense. And the actual marketing pitch, this description on the page, it's quite concise, isn't it?
Yeah, it reads, dominate the league in EA Sports Madden NFL 26. Years of NFL game data powers next level coaching, QB authenticity, and explosive gameplay. Every game is a new challenge on your path to becoming an NFL legend.
That's the main hook they're putting right there, front and center.
Yeah. It is. And what's kind of interesting about that language is who it seems designed to appeal to.
How so?
Well, years of NFL game data powers next level coaching. That kind of speaks to maybe simulation fans, people wanting strategic depth, that analytical side.
Right, the realism aspect.
Yeah, and QB authenticity points that way too. Realism and how the players work, but then you get explosive gameplay and path to becoming an NFL legend. That leans much more into the action, the excitement, the sort of career fantasy element.
So it's like they're trying to hit multiple types of players in just a couple of sentences.
Exactly. It's a blend of appeals packed in there.
Okay, so moving past that core description, let's look at the nitty-gritty of actually buying it.
Right.
Both pages, PS5 and Xbox, they list the price identically, $69.99.99. No difference shown based on the console here.
And the release date.
Also consistent, August 14, 2025. That's for both versions.
Okay, August 14th. And the pages confirm you can pre-order it now, obviously. Okay. And importantly, they both clearly state the item is shipped from and sold by Amazon.com.
Ah, yeah, that's a big one for some people.
Definitely. For a lot of buyers, seeing sold by Amazon adds a layer of trust compared to, some third-party seller you've never heard of.
Right. They also lay out the standard Amazon return policy right there.
Typically 30 days for returns or replacements, assuming the item is in its original condition.
All seems pretty standard online shopping stuff so far.
It is, but then you scroll down the page a bit and you immediately hit this really prominent section, add a protection plan.
Yes, the upsell.
And this is where it gets, pretty interesting, I think. Amazon isn't just showing you the game, they're immediately prompting you to think about buying extra coverage.
Yeah, it does make you pause and ask, why is this upsell so front and center for a video game?
Yeah.
What are the choices they give you?
Well, there's a menu of options. You see a 2-year protection plan listed for $6.99.
Okay.
And a 3-year plan for $8.99. And both of those are explicitly linked to a company called Asurion, LLC.
Okay, so specific third-party plans.
Correct. But then there's a third option, and it's very different. It's called a Complete Protect Plan, and it's listed at $16.99 per month.
Whoa, okay, per month. That's quite different from a one-off fee.
It is. The sheer variety, and especially that monthly option, it's really striking right next to a $70 software purchase.
So what do the plans cover?
Well, for the 2- and 3-year plans, the pages highlight things like no extra cost for repairs and coverage starting on the purchase date. Pretty standard warranty stuff.
And the monthly one, the Complete Protect.
That one's described much more broadly. It talks about covering eligible past and future Amazon purchases.
Ah, okay. So potentially more than just the game.
Potentially. It mentions covering drops and spills for portable items, things like that.
Wait, this is where you really have to read the details on the page, right?
Exactly. Because while that monthly plan description sounds really expansive, the page, when you're adding it from this specific game listing, includes a little note. It says, monthly warranty plans are currently only available for single item orders.
Huh. So even though it's called Complete Protect, if you add it from this page, it sounds like it might only cover the game itself, or maybe the console, depending on eligibility. Well, it's a bit confusing.
It really is. It highlights how the headline offer, that big Complete Protect name, isn't always the full story right there on the page. You need to catch that fine print.
Yeah, that nuance is super important for a buyer. Okay, so beyond the warranties, what else is on these pages?
Well, both pages also feature those familiar sections, frequently bought together, and customers who bought this item also bought.
Right, the recommendation engine stuff. This is always a little window into, what Amazon thinks buyers like you are interested in.
Totally. And naturally, you see other big upcoming or recent games suggested.
Like what?
EA Sports College Football 26 is right there, interestingly, listed with an earlier release date, July 10th, 2025, compared to Madden's August 14th.
Oh, okay. Good catch.
Also, things like Mafia, The Old Country, MLB The Show 25, WWE 2K 25. Makes sense, right? If you're buying one big sports title, you might be into others.
Absolutely. But it's not just games, is it?
No, that's the other interesting part. The pages mix in other items too. On the Xbox page, for example, you see movies like Blu-rays for Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, and something called Sinners.
Okay, so movies too.
And the PS5 page, it also suggests console-specific accessories, things like cooling stations, controller thumb grips from brands like Control Freak.
So it's like Amazon's giving you this little data-driven snapshot of who they think the Madden buyer is.
Pretty much.
Not just a gamer, but someone who might also like action movies or specific controller add-ons. It kind of reveals how their algorithm connects different types of purchases.
Yeah, it definitely does. And then, of course, you have the standard product info section itself.
Right, the more technical bits.
Yeah, confirm stuff like the ASI, and that's Amazon's unique product code package dimensions, item weight, which is obviously tiny for software.
Negligible, yeah.
Language listed as English, country of origin as USA, and even the date the page first went live on Amazon, which was April 24th, 2025 for these.
So quite a bit of info packed in there.
Definitely. So just by carefully looking at these two, distinct but very similar Amazon pages, you really extract quite a lot.
Yeah, you get the core game details, obviously.
Right. The publisher, the platform, the pending rating.
You get the fixed price, the release date.
The seller info, sold by Amazon, the return policy.
And then that really prominent display of all those different optional protection plans.
Yeah, with their varying structures and, frankly, slightly confusing terms on the monthly one.
And finally, those insights into related products that Amazon thinks someone buying Madden might also want, from other games to movies to accessories.
Exactly.
It really shows how much information is embedded in these product listings, way beyond just the basic facts about the game.
Absolutely. You see the layers of the potential transaction, including, the strategic placement of upsells like those warranties and the data-driven recommendations for other stuff. It's all part of the package.
So let's wrap up then. We've seen the core game details, the fixed price and release date, the seller info, those protection plan options, both the single item ones and that broader monthly coverage idea, and the related items Amazon suggests.
Right. It shows how just exploring these specific pages reveals layers of info about the product and the sale strategy.
Definitely. Which brings us to a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
Considering that whole menu of protection plans offered right there, so prominently on the purchase page, what does the sheer presence and the variety of those options suggest about what we as consumers expect when we buy electronics today?
Good question.
And how might seeing those options right there influence the value we perceive in our purchase, especially for something like a brand new, highly anticipated game?
Yeah, does it make the purchase feel more fragile or more protected? Something to think about.
Something to consider the next time you're browsing and about to click buy.
Yeah.
That's been our deep dive into the Madden NFL 26 Amazon pages.